This is Zal. Welcome back to PS3 Factorio. We're going to be changing it up a little bit. I'm going to be recording an hour's worth of footage, and then I'll be speeding it up 3 times. Then I'll be doing the voiceover separately, and multiple reasons. I don't want this series to drag on too long, as well as some of the recording quality of the audio. There's a little bit too much background static. If I record the audio separately, the voiceover separately, I can control how much static there is because I can post-process the voiceover. I might be able to do that on live. We'll see. I'm not really sure how well that would work. Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything by not hearing all the buttons clickety-clack. I am watching the little controller right now, and man, I'm just like going back and forth on that thing. It's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would. It's actually, if you set it up correctly, like I did, it's actually pretty streamlined. You keep the L1, you keep R1, R2, and use the same exact 2 fingers for left and right click on the controller that you use on your mouse. So it's pretty natural. The shift to control, those are in the same general positions. One's above the other, so it's pretty easy to remember that. D-pad is the same motion used for WSD. The only thing that's a little difficult is using the joystick. It's not bad. So we're going to go ahead and get our research set up here, and first thing we're going to do is increase the amount of iron we're making significantly. So we're going to get some furnaces set up. We're going to set up a scalable manufacturing solution for everything. We're going to be getting away from burner miners as soon as possible because they are just not worth trying to do. I will say this about the controller. It does have a little bit of a carpal tunnel syndrome after a while. I'm trying to figure out how to make it comfortable, how to hold it for an hour and not have to make my wrists want to fall off. But it's probably just because I'm so used to using a keyboard and mouse. It's just a whole different experience. It's not too bad. So we're going to be setting up our research. First thing we're going to research is automation. Actually, we already researched logistics first because I want the splitters and all the inserters. And then we're going to bring in our and then the underground belts. I need my underground belts so I can feed in my coal line. Feed in my coal line so that I can put power poles in there. I'm going to have long and short-handed inserters grabbing coal and iron off the belts. And it's all compact. I think one of the things I'm going to do in this series is I'm going to try to rush robots so that I can make productions more compact. It's nice to have things sprawling with conveyor belts, but the amount of optimization you can achieve by using robots is amazing. So one of the things we're going to have to do is split our coal line so that some of it will come down to our smelting operation. And just need to set up the rest of our power. Connect it up. As well as it ends up turning out that I put my inserters in the wrong location. So I noticed this and I had to go back through and place them again. So the short ones have to be on the left and the long ones have to be on the right, feeding in coal off of our belt. Have plenty of iron coming through now. Automation was researched, so we're going to be setting up a couple production lines, getting the basics rolling. I always like to have all the basics dedicated. I like to have my own gears, my own belts, and my own copper wires. And then of course I move on to make, and then I got to get a couple ammos going, and then I getting research going. Getting research going will be the focus these first couple episodes, and then trying to figure out how to get robots. Blue science is always kind of a pain, so I'm definitely gonna try to figure out what I can do to make that happen. I do know that scalable smelting is going to help a lot. Looks like I'm already going to be running out of iron at this patch. Later on, it's pretty much filled in. So we're going to go ahead and set up a stone smelting operation, because I would like to be making some stone paths. Anything to speed that up to where I can move faster across the land is going to help quite a bit. So we're going to split our coal line so it goes up here and meets up. And when you're placing belts, it's not too bad. Either you can just use the joystick and move it, or you can just move your character to keep the joystick in the same place. Either way, it's not too bad. Same setup on the rest of my smelting. That might be something I also look at doing, is getting electric furnaces set up. That'll make things a little bit simpler. I definitely will not be transitioning fully to solar. I don't agree with the whole mass solar initiative. It's a lot of resources and a lot of time setting it all up. Now I know you can use blueprints, but still, it's like I could throw down a couple coal plants and be just fine. Throw down some coal plants, put up some laser walls, and, you know, just let them attack me. I don't care. It's better than wasting massive amounts of space on solar panels. Although, you know, I might change my mind in the future. I'm not sure. So we got our bricks going. We'll be using the laybound path soon enough. Now we notice that we have run out of power. So we go through and collect all our resources. It's not too difficult to go and just control left click on everything to get everything out. So we're going to rearrange this so that this steam engine is going to be removed. I'm just going to put a pipe up there and feed that all the way down. And replace these with burners, as well as put some more inserters down there. Now I just realized that I'm covering up the production queue by having the controller sit there. I did flip the controller. I mirrored the controller from the last episode, so it's a little easier to see what buttons I'm pressing instead of being upside down. Not sure if the production queue really matters. I could move it. Definitely could move it up top, I guess, because I don't think anything really ever shows up top. So next episode I'll move it up top. First couple episodes kind of trying to figure out what's going on. So I've upgraded my power, and I've it's like a megawatt or two worth of power at this point, which isn't too bad. I'll definitely be trying to follow the 10 burners to 14 boilers standard setup. If I don't run out of coal. Some of the deposits are kind of small on this map, so I don't know, it should be... Might turn into kind of an issue, running out of resources. I think I will be using trains to move everything long distances. I don't want to just belt everything around or use robots to move things. I should go through the trouble of using trains, multiple trains as well. Now, there's a risk to that, in that I could easily get run over. So I'll probably be using body armor, power suit armor, sooner rather than later, so I don't accidentally run myself over and die, and then the series is over. So we have a belt production set up now. Those are going to be my extra belts. So I went ahead and capped that chest so that we're not producing too much. I'm going to be making some ammo. And also some gears. And Alt has been remapped to L3. So you click on the left joystick, your production details go on and off. So we'll be scaling up iron a little bit more. Definitely like having scalable systems within the factory. Another thing that I've been learning to do, that I've been wanting to do, I haven't really set it up officially in any of my games. I haven't played that much. I want to go ahead and set up a main bus system. So all the resources I need are all in a direct line. All right next to each other. And this is definitely going to help. I've seen other people do it, and they leave 2 spaces in between each line so that they can do underground belts between them. This is definitely going to help. Now we get our copper wire production going. And we're just going to leave it so there's extra space there. And build a chest so that we can store some extra for us. But also cap it, because I noticed that in your inventory you only need about 2 stacks of copper wire. You never really use any more than that. Really, it's only useful if you run out of electronic circuits or you need to just make some in your inventory really quick. Let's bring our skill in the copper going. Now, comparing this to how fast it would be if I was using a mouse and keyboard, honestly, I don't think it'd be much faster. It might be. You have to do like a side-by-side comparison of that. Honestly, I think it could be faster in the future once you get used to the controls, because everything is just so compressed into a smaller space. And once you know what to hit, what's what, it's really not that bad. Now I know the keyboard and mouse, you just kind of keep it is on one spot as well. That's pretty well mapped, and everything works well. But something about having your hands closer together makes it work better. I don't know. Anyway, we had our first biter attack, and they seem to really like my iron mines. I don't know what it is. They attack it a few times during this session. So I decided that I'm going to need turrets, and I'll be putting up a couple. And the carpal tunnel syndrome really kind of started to set in at this point. You have to figure out how to make that not happen. Shouldn't be too bad. I think as long as I hold the controller up off the table, that's not so bad. Also, keeping it in the middle of the frame is a little difficult. So we have gone and put down all of our stone path. So we'll be moving a little bit faster around the base. Putting up defenses will be important. I don't know if I'm going to put up big wall sections yet. I'll probably, next episode, one of the things I should do is set up additional stone smelting. And I've seen the guy who can beat Factorio in like 3 hours, 4 hours. I have no idea how he does it so fast. It's pretty crazy. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the latest playthroughs, speedruns. I would imagine that the speedruns have gotten longer because of the additional requirements to win the game. So, I'll have to go check that out. Combat isn't too bad. L1 is targeting a single target, and L2 is just firing at whatever you're closest to using space. So our main bus is getting set up here. We got gears, copper plate, and iron plate. And I just suppose that this will just kind of snake around up north as we go. And then I'm not sure if this is the most efficient way to split this up, but I think it'll work. I'm going to feed the gears down, force them onto the top belt, and put the copper on the bottom belt. And then I'll try to change it so that it's a little bit different, and it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't want to split straight onto an underground belt, so I just won't do that. I'm sure there's a more efficient way to do this, but I'll figure it out. And here we're going to set up our red science. I figured that I'd try to get my red science going within the first episode. Probably next episode we'll be focusing on getting green science, and then hopefully we can get blue science within 2 episodes or so. It'd be nice to have all our science just set up and have it going. Also be looking at steel and setting up more stone. So we're going to get 2 conveyor belts coming down, so we'll be able to feed all of the labs off of them. And when I set up my labs, I like to set up 2 rows of 6. I like to set up 12 labs. Seems to be quite fast. And I just have to scale up production of everything so it meets demand. Yeah, I never realized. I always think that red packs are way harder than they are. They're not. They're really simple. It's just gears and copper plate. It's really easy. The green packs aren't that hard either. Now it's the blue packs that take forever. And then of course the alien artifacts are a little bit difficult to procure. But I've seen a series recently where they just put conveyor belts outside their walls. Although that's a mod, never mind. It does not work in the real world. So I'll definitely be getting power armor, and I'll be getting a tank and a bunch of robots, destroyer capsules, poison capsules. I'll be blowing a bunch of shit up. In the name of progress. Everything is in the name of progress in this game. I think one of the last things I'm going to do is I'm going to research optics. I'm going to put up some lights because I really hate to be in the dark at night. It's really counterproductive. I ended up getting attacked. These iron mines just keep getting attacked by biters. It's crazy. They just love this area. So I'm going to set up 6 more mines, which is going to be enough for 6 more, or 12 more furnaces. And that's the timer ending. That's the end of the episode. I'll see you next time.